Ladies and gentlemen, the KYREN Monteiro Show, Season 2, Episode 3!
When I started with this vision, people thought I was a scrub. Now they show me love, you would think I was the plug.
Yeah.
Now I got the keys and I'ma show you what it is. King on this grind, you know I had on my feet.
You know I'm getting to these
Blessings, 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 blessings.
We tell them something like a hater hate, but we okay. Stacking chips,
Frito-Lays.
tell them check the circle, 0 lanes. That's what we tell them, check the circle, 0 lanes. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy KYREN Monteiro, man. Welcome to the KYREN Monteiro Show, Season 2, Episode 3, man. Hand clap for y'all people out there, right there at that boy.
Yo.
Hey, man, this an all-star cast right here, man. You know, this like the African Avengers. Hey, this like the
building, man.
this the Wakanda forever.
We here, man.
Hey, man, I'm gonna introduce, man, the squad, man. Some people who near and dear to my heart, man. We got the homies to my left. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Yo, this is Saunders, man. You know, I'm just black man trying to make it in America, man.
I feel that.
Actively black.
I feel that.
For sure.
Once again, to my right, we got.
Well, you know what it is, man. It's Big Phreeza in this thing, man. Can I get a hand clap?
Hand
clap.
Yeah. You know, it's Big Phreeza, man. What's going on, man? We back.
And then.
Sean Chris in the building, man.
Yup.
Co-host of the Blaze Sports Culture Show, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow us, man.
Tap in.
We out here, M-Town shit.
For sure, boy. For sure, man. Man, it's good to have y'all gentlemen on here. First off, man, Alice, we're gonna start with you, man. How life been for you this week so far, man?
Yo, man, life has been crazy. A lot of work, balancing the wife, the kids. Man, it's been a lot, but through it all, man, I can still kind of reflect on, that stuff is getting done, bills being paid.
For sure.
I might be tired, but in spite of all that, I can look at them and be like, all right, they good, so I'm good.
So
It's kind of it for me.
Big Phreeza, man. How life been for you, man, this week?
nah, this week was crazy. But, we here. Like, I feel him, worked a lot. Start to feel it a couple days ago, but, we here. Can't complain too much, man.
That sound like that 30 plus. That's what that is.
I'm piggybacking off of both of them, bro. Like,
Young.
for real, man.
How your week been so far, fam?
It's been a good grind, man, for real. Work and then kids, sports, man. It don't stop, for real.
And you got 3 of them actively in sports, right?
Actively, bro. So, just trying to get them better, too, as well. It's really full-time job. It don't stop, for real.
Man, so we're gonna kick this thing off, getting into this. And
How about you? How was your week?
you know what?
Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad that you asked.
Gotta ask, man.
Man, bro, it's just been a grind. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a lot of podcast production stuff.
Sure.
I've been trying to take Frequency Canvas. I've really been trying to be like one of the innovators of podcast production in the Midwest.
For sure.
Because our city, we 20 years behind on everything. I'm like, God dang it, we gonna be on time with this one. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for real, you a part of a podcast, Phreeza. Got a couple in the boy. I don't think I'm gonna talk. I think this the closest brother-in-law right here gonna get on the podcast. But my dude Johnny Lovely, he got the Chopping It Up podcast. I'm a part of this other podcast called Where We Landed. My church, Greater Second Baptist Church here in the city.
Yeah,
we launching a podcast for them called Healing Broken Souls.
I like that.
And so
Big shout out.
here I find myself, like, it's crazy having an impact on artists for a while now. I'm like, we building a podcast culture locally. So I think that's dope, man. So hand clap, man, to that, man. That's a blessing right there, man. Starting with Alice, man, we always gonna start with you, and then we just gonna move down.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
Let me ask you this, man. I'm gonna ask everybody this question: how was your father growing up, and how does that play into your everyday parenting?
I mean, mine was a little different. I had So I had my biological dad when, you know, I was a baby, and my mother. That didn't work out. Appreciate you. That didn't work out, but, you know, mother ended up getting remarried, had a stepdad. I was blessed because most of the time that dynamic can be kind of wild.
No, for sure.
You know, you got like, man, another guy raising another kid's dad.
Right.
How that's gonna work out? For me though, I was lucky because my dad and stepdad. I mean, they end up being cool to where they would go do things together. And be
That's
like,
dope.
That's
I
super
mean,
dope. That's
like,
growth too.
Yeah. I mean,
For sure.
because I seen how that can play out with, you know, otherwise where it's
Right.
like that kid end up getting, you know, put in that weird position because of it. And so because of that,
Sucks, man.
yeah. And so because of that, I was able to, you know, kind of see how that worked, but look at their dynamics to where for my situation now, draw from that to see how that can play out in the positive, but also kind of learn from some of their mistakes. Because, of course, us men, I mean, we're still going to have clash at times because ideology is going to kind of mix.
Right.
So
Right.
just kind of see how they navigated those things kind of helped me now kind of be like, all right, this is what they did. I mean, I'm a stepdad, so I'm able to be like, all right, shoot, what did I have to deal with personally from having a stepdad compared to my dad? And so, you know, now I'm able to kind of put a thought from a child to now being in that position to where I'm kind of opening up to where I'm not as tunneled because it's like
That's a great advantage too, bro. That's a great advantage on your end, though. You know, knowing that you had that experience. You know what I'm saying? So it was like sometimes you could see your stepchild and like, yo, I know what you're thinking right now, or like I kind of feel where you coming from. You know, on different occasions or whatever.
So that is a crazy dynamic. How does that dynamic play into your everyday parenting? Because that's a lot.
For me, it's a focus on making sure that, you know, every kid know that, hey, mine or not doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Because like for me, I was cool with never having kids personally. And so I mean, it was one to where the family was like, oh, you got a kid? Okay, you got a kid, but
FTK, man.
yeah.
No, I'm playing.
Stupid.
But yeah, so for me that dynamic is just you know, it's just I'm able to lean up on so much of those things just because of how I've experienced and not compared to my other siblings where, you know, I see how they may approach things just because of how their parents' dynamics are. Because technically, all my siblings are half.
Right.
I mean, I don't, you know, I don't be like, hey, that's my half sibling. They're still my sibling.
Oh, yeah, facts.
When it comes to dynamics of parenting, you know, from that aspect, we all have something a little different. But I'm also able to look at, oh, okay, that's what y'all had to go through. All right, mine's a little different because they may have meshed more than how your parents may have meshed to an extent. And so from that, it's just kind of, all right, let me learn from y'all lessons and kind of apply that, which ain't always easy, but, you know,
Hey, man.
take it a day.
That's why this thing is called No Manual, all on site, because it definitely is that. Phreeza, now that I think about it, before we, I'm going to piggyback. Young, you answer that, then we're going to piggyback to Phreeza, because me and Phreeza, we talked about this a little bit. Part one, so quickly, how was your father coming up, and then how does that play into your parenting? And then Phreeza, you right after that.
Man, it's mine was different, man. I actually didn't have a relationship with my real dad until I was 21 plus years old. So, you know what I'm saying? He missed a lot of that. I've seen him, you know, a couple times during my younger stages. I could remember times he would come or whatever.
So who was that special man that you learned fatherhood from?
My stepdad, man, for sure. My stepdad, man, he played a big part. You know what I'm saying? Which at first we didn't click on a lot of. We clicked on sports. That was one of the things that we clicked on. You feel me? So that's why I do give my mom a lot of credit too, because she did play both roles for a long time. You feel me? But when she did meet my stepdad, bro, he did like ease the stuff a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With stuff that I was supposed to do with my pops, I was doing it with him. You feel me? And then I was able to, you know, build a relationship with my pops, just knowing that, life goes on, bro, and trying to be the bigger person in a way, you feel me? So I got a relationship with my real pops right now to this day. So, and I know how it is. I know he wasn't in my life. I know I'm gonna see him when I see him, and it's just that's the type of relationship we have,
So I know. I mean, you're a little bit older than me, so I didn't grow up with you my whole life. I know that you were a great dad. So how did that motivate you as a father? How does that play? Because you go hard for your kids.
To never be gone, to always be present, like through everything, bro. Like there's not going to ever be a time where they be like, "Man, where was my dad?" or something like that. You feel me? Like it's through any circumstances, they already know. So that's and what I felt, I don't want them to feel that. You feel me? So and they don't know. They're not even close to feeling that. You feel me? So it's like they know nothing but love and all that, so
that's amazing.
Phil,
for sure.
Phil, for you growing up, how was your relationship with your pops, and how does that play into your relationship now with your children on a day-to-day in parenting?
Rocky, because I think like right at teenage years, the whole like the back and forth like custody battle like that right there was just crazy. But for a long time I resented him, and I didn't really know why. I just know like I was with my mom, and there's times I'm like, man, I want my dad, and he not here. Like I go to my homeboy's house, they pops there. You know what I mean? Like you see people that got they pops there. Yeah, like in my situation is a little bit different because like my dad was here. Like I know if I called him, it was drop of a hat. I got you. Come over and get me whatever. I need some money. Like he'll give me whatever he got. So like he was there, but in my eyes, he wasn't there how I wanted him to be. So, but in that, I was still spoiled and having extremely great males around, strong males around me.
For sure.
So
heroes for real.
Yeah. Like I
got some gems from them as well too.
Like
for real.
And my rock is your goddad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Facts.
you know that, and then obviously we all know Reverend Williams.
Facts.
So and then Deacon Chambers. So I was spoiled in having men. Dominant male figures in my life, even if my dad wasn't there how I wanted him to be.
So for your two sons and the rest of your kids, because you got some, you got some out here, boy. How do you mold all of that into your day-to-day parenting?
I think I've taken a little bit of something from all of them. Like from my dad, it's like I know how I feel. Like I'm coming, and then he don't come and get you. I know that waiting at the door feeling.
Right.
But I also know like my grandfather that I'm named after, Junior. Hey, come over. Like I was with him a lot. Them trips to Evansville, he taught me so much game. Deacon Chambers, that just a whole nother just side of him I never seen until like I got a little older. You know what I mean? So like I think I took like everything that I got from them and on top of me as a person and just try to instill that in my kids because like none of them are here anymore. So, everything I got from them, I got to give it to my and I'm blessed to have two boys, so I can get them the game raw and don't have to sugarcoat anything.
Facts.
So basically what
understand.
So basically what I hear from all three of y'all is that in some shape or way, and young, Chris Villarreal, aka Young One, your grandfather, Deacon Charles Thomas,
For sure.
definitely.
Go.
That's what I was hitting at when I said who else, because I know your grandfather. I know your grandfather played a significant role. Alice, I know you had two pops, uncles. So I know that we all come from families where we've had men, OGs in the church, from the culture, whatever. So what it sounds like from the three of y'all is that all of that great game that's just so hard to just talk about in a brief second, y'all use that as a roadmap on a day-to-day basis. Is that what y'all saying? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, man, you got to.
100%.
Okay. So hand clap.
Definitely learn from experiences as well. Man,
Hand clap to them men because some is gone So some have went on and some are still here, man. So we appreciate that.
For sure.
Alex, Phillip, I gotta ask y'all a question that only y'all two can answer on this podcast.
Man.
Both of y'all have raised kids that are not biologically yours, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what that feel like. Young, to my knowledge, you don't know what that feel like.
No.
Stupid. So I want to starting with Alex. What I want to, and then Phil coming right after that. What I want to ask y'all is, what is that like to raise kids that are biologically not your own, and then how do y'all deal with the foundation, like things they were taught before y'all came in and try to rebuild that foundation? I know that's kind of a big question, but I just got to ask y'all that.
I mean, for me, it started out with the mother, because the way I view their parent or their mother in that case is it has to be a huge support, comfort for myself. But also, I have to have that belief. I have to see something about how she's treating them that will make me feel supported, also make me feel comfortable that if I integrate myself, this is not a, hey, here's just a guy who can help out, but I'm also introducing to you because I see qualities that, that if I'm bringing it to my kids, it's something I want them to latch on to.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for me, like I said, if I didn't have kids, I was okay with that. Like I said, we did having a kid together, but it wasn't necessarily like, hey, I have to do this. But because I saw the type of mother that she was, I was comfortable being with like, hey, if I do decide to have a kid, because of the way I see how she treats them, it made it easier for me to want to integrate with that.
Yeah.
So
for sure. You got that support system, like you're saying, that you can feed off of, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that, and also coming from a background of having, a stepfather and seeing how that dynamic can play. It wasn't as much of a foreign concept of integrating families, which, that can be a whole another episode right there.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, there's, all type of dynamics into it, but that was kind of my initial thing with that. Because if I don't respect you to that level of that, I honestly, it wouldn't have been a chance for me to even make the kids because I didn't respect or something I didn't see
For sure.
that I wanted to engage with that. And so if I wasn't comfortable there, then I wouldn't have found out about anything else.
So that's crazy how you weave both of that together. So basically, the way that you seen your now wife parenting, basically you looked at that, and that's how you were able to build on from just examining that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just because of my dynamic stuff, like I said, I'm from a big family, so I'm used to a lot of kids, stuff like that. So it's never an issue of, hey, man, I don't like kids. I mean, because of the gaps in ages from me to like my older sibling who's close to 40 years older than me. I've been around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've been around nieces and nephews who are closer to my age, where
Right.
it's like, all right, I'm having to take care of kids anyway because I'm not old enough to do anything with my cousins. But I'm too old.
That's a
to
blessing,
really,
though.
Yeah. So for me, because I have such a big family in that way, I'm able to view things a certain way. And also, I mean, I've had other relatives who I've seen be in those same situations where I was able to have those conversations like, hey, going into this, what are you getting out of it? Because, of course, I know if it's her, it's them.
Yeah.
But, what are the things that you're, when you make those same decisions, what kind of was your stumbling points? And for me, it was just like, all right, let me pick off from you. You did that. I was about to do that same thing. I'm glad I talked to you. Right. So that's where something like this, where we're communicating about, hey, man, here's our experiences and stuff like that, comes into play. Because, anybody else going to be listening to this will be like, you know what, you're right. I didn't take advantage of talking to the people who I was able to because of, it might have been pride, ego, anything like that, to where, all right, they did the same thing, took advantage of it, and look how that worked out. And I mean, it can work out for good or bad.
Right.
But knowing that you have the options of it to do something about it.
Man, ego will kill you, man. For sure.
For real.
Big Phreeza, you didn't raise kids outside of your biological realm. What has that experience been for you, or what was, is, whatever it is? And then how did you, take the foundation that they already had and kind of rebuild that and be like, chisel that?
Well, it's happened twice. My first time was like a fresh 22 or about to turn 23, single, on spot. Then I get with somebody. She got 3 kids.
That's a big shift.
It's an enormous shift, right?
Ooh.
But it seemed like it almost seemed easy though, because like I already had a relationship with one of the kids from working at the boys club.
Right.
And then so when the other one got cool, so it was just like, oh, this is like our big brother.
Yeah.
So then then they introduced me to their mom. I'm like, well, wait a minute. How old are you? And then she told me, I'm like, oh, like we right here. So ain't no big brother no more. Like, but I never made them call made them call me dad, like nothing crazy like that. It was just at that point I was still growing up. So
at 22,
at 22, like
you young.
You like what?
Yeah, like
You barely can spell kids.
come on, bro. Like for real, like I'm fresh off.
You said
wildin'.
CIDS?
Come on, bro. What we talking about? I'm fresh off wilding, and now I'm done. Hey, lockdown, crib, girl. You know what I mean? So
Family thing. It was
man,
good.
super. And it made me grow up faster, and I just kind of like
what Terry Crews said. Oh, you all grown up now, though.
For sure, the games was done for it. But yeah. So raising the 2, she had 2 boys and a daughter, and like her daughter, the one I really like. We got a bond instantly.
And what's crazy is I actually worked a job with the young lady that he talking about. So I he telling the truth.
Yeah. So that was kind of like, I think like at that point I was like, oh, I could definitely do this dad thing. Like it just seemed so easy.
So coming in, how you came in, once you got in, how did you? Because every man got his own experience. So how did you bring what you just said from what you learned from those great men? How did you infuse that into them?
I think they just watched me more than anything. Like we talked and everything, but like once I really realized like they was watching my every move, like I do a hand gesture in the rap, they doing the same thing. They getting in trouble at school for doing stuff I'm doing. I'm like, all right, you got to grow up now. These kids is watching you. They get in trouble being like you. It's time to grow up. So I just sat them down one day and just like listen, and I just just gave them as much game as I could that I think they would understand at the age that they was at.
Right.
And then.
But that's real to admit that.
Oh yeah.
You had to be better.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of times, as men, we got pride. We don't want to admit that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at that age, a lot of people don't have to.
22, bro. I didn't know what I was doing.
A lot of people don't got to admit that. We still, like you said, we had low 5 party.
At 22, you a CID.
Bro, I am.
You're still a kid,
bro. But then, also, like I said, that was my first time. The second time was a little different. Our daughter was older, and that was just. Our relationship was like a little bit different because I was like, she felt like she could just talk to me about anything. I can't talk to my mom because I think she's gonna. I'm like, well, I won't tell her if you don't want me to. You know what I mean? So like we had a relationship where.
So you dating like a mentor almost.
Yeah, for sure.
A dad tour.
Dadder. But yeah, that experience was different too though.
It's like a lot, man. You realize
she was like 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like so, it's crazy. Like more kids around this area need that.
Yeah,
bro. It's a lot of people and kids. Like it's a lot of really kids that be going through the craziest stuff, bro.
Bro, in this country.
Yeah,
period.
I mean, but I'm just saying, just
seeing it locally.
Locally, bro. And it's how small Marion is, bro. It's a lot of hurt families in this joint, bro. Like for real, and just like I said, it's a lot of grandmas raising kids, bro. Like for real. I mean,
Grandma's is 37.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what's crazy though?
Facts.
Like what's crazy is, and I say this before we move to the next point. With y'all too, I commend y'all because, and being able to do that. When I was 18, before me and Jada, my wife, got together, I tried talking to a chick that had already had 2 kids. Keep in mind, she was already a couple years younger than me, so she's still in school, and I'm over there trying to,
like dad.
no, heck, no, I ain't trying to play nothing close to that. And every time we chilling and stuff, all her attention went to the kids.
So you was trying to
At that time,
be
I just
around and not deal with the kids.
Yeah, at that time at
for
18,
sure.
I'm like,
sure.
bro, whoever I'm gonna be with, gotta have a clean slate.
Right.
Yeah.
Like at 18, I'm like, I still live with my mom. I ain't trying to.
Yeah.
I'm walking to
not
work.
about to
I ain't got
come
no
over here and
car.
be no
Like
dad with you.
I wasn't wise at 18, but I was wise enough to know that I'm like, I don't want this.
Right.
And so I ain't had my daughter till I was like 26. But I felt old because all the homies, y'all had already had kids before me. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was late to the party, but it is what it is. Moving on, man, I want to ask y'all this. Because speaking of kids going through stuff, and you know what? We're going to reverse it. Young, we're going to start with you and then we'll come down. Technology and culture got a huge influence on kids now.
On adults too.
So what is your opinion on how the culture and technology is influencing kids? And then as a father, how do you deal with guiding your kids and parenting through that? Because you got a approaching teenage daughter and, sons, who I know they probably on TikTok and all that stuff.
I feel like, I feel like you're gonna experience what you're gonna experience with your kids, and it's not like, you can keep your kids locked up or however it may be. But for one, you got to put that trust in your child first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it sucks. You got a pretty daughter, you got handsome boys or whatever, and you don't want them to go out and do
My
this.
daughter
do
beautiful,
that.
so I cry at that. Handsome boys.
Nah, for no, straight up though, bro. And it was straight up, and man, you just gotta put that trust in them so they, you know what I'm saying. Man, I don't want my daughter to do a lot of stuff that she does, but I gotta put that trust in her, bro. So she not feeling like she's
got a while out later.
She has to do, like she feel like she done missed out on so much stuff because I ain't let her do this and that. So I put my trust in my child first. She done had her little, she's a kid, you know what I'm saying, and I know how to deal with it. You feel me?
And
so
you put trust in your gangster.
yeah, I know how to deal with it. You feel me? So I just like, I talk to my kids a lot. We talk and we raw with it. You feel me? So we talk every day, and we talk about whatever's on their mind. It don't matter. They know it's no filter. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got to be with your kids nowadays, especially if you in tune with what's going on in the real world out there.
You better be in tune.
You gotta.
better be.
You need to be in tune with your child.
Our moms
kids
was
or
like
whatever.
that. Our moms was
Yeah.
wrong with us.
Oh, what?
They wasn't sugarcoating.
Yeah, but
we didn't have no business, bro. It was their
Bro,
business.
My mom was telling me. My mom was letting me know something. I'm just like, she's like, I'd rather you hear from me than hear from somebody.
Bro,
out there.
one thing my
And
mom
you be led astray.
One thing my mom told me that literally, like, every day I think about. I don't know why it sticks with me. It sticks with me because I've literally been going through it. But she said, boy, you gonna have she said, you know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know you. She was like, man, she was like, always give thanks to the man upstairs. She was like, because you're gonna see a lot of friends go to jail. You're gonna see a lot of friends die. You know what I'm saying? She said, you just gonna see a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? She was telling me about, she was like, growing up, she was like, a lot of my friends died. A lot of my friends went to prison. Like, just, you gonna see them come and go. It's gonna be like that. And
basically what she telling you is keep your foundation solid.
for real, bro. And
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
seen a lot of that, bro. Every time something happens, I'm like, man, mom told me.
Shout out to Miss Charlene Rice. Shout out to Trish Mama.
Straight up, man.
Phil, dive into that a little bit more, man. Culture influencing kids and how you do. I know your kids are a little younger than yours,
Yeah,
but
my kids ain't on the where they can like talk about like what they see on, that kind of stuff. TikTok and all that. They're not even on that. Mickey Mouse. That's all I'm hearing.
But at their level, how is that inspiring them though? Disney Plus, I mean, that got influence.
No, it does, but it's a positive one because
For sure.
he do everything they do. You know what I mean? But
Hey, Mickey out here pimping. Don't get it twisted. Me chasing Mickey.
yeah, but I just from just seeing the world and how crazy it is with social media and all that, it's wicked, man. Like honestly, like kids ain't got no business on the internet.
Facts.
Just like cartoons wasn't for kids back in the day, the internet's not for kids, bro. This is an unfiltered, disgusting place. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They used to
Chris
have
Paul talk about his daughter getting bullied because he ain't won a ring.
Yeah, for real.
Like, seriously? That's what it come down to? Like, your daughter might get beat up because your dad ain't got a championship ring. Like, that's some
like,
stuff.
you don't even know your daddy.
You know what I mean? But
World
that's
we
like,
live in,
why is
man.
that something even I got to deal with?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, like, that's just what I'm saying. Like, kids ain't got no business on that at all.
All I can say is I agree.
Social media not for
For
kids,
real.
bro.
No, that's facts, bro. That's super facts, and I think it sucks that celebrities have to sometimes. Man, you don't see their
Gotta
kids
explain
for
themselves.
yeah. Sometimes just like Jay-Z and Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've seen a little clip. They just brought her out on stage, bro. They've
Yeah,
never
she's
did
dancing
that.
and everything now.
Yeah, like they've never,
Yeah.
bro. They brought her. Man, she's older.
You know, he was bringing her courtside to the Laker games and all that. Like, they outside now.
Yeah, bro. Like, and they used to keep her like
Yeah. Yep.
secluded for real. Like,
Well, away from the media. I mean, look at the platform that they got.
yeah, for sure.
You know, we
But
can't
that's
even
what
imagine.
he's saying. Like, it sucks that
But
celebrities
it
got to do
sucks
that.
you got to do that. Like everybody, like, man, dang, your daughter's gotten so big, and it's like, and I'm not saying that it's important for like the world to see her grow up, but still, it's like, man, why you gotta be secluded for it? It kind of sucks in a way.
Yeah.
For the Alex, unique position about you. You got 3 teenagers. So when it come to everything we talking about, tell us about that journey, man.
No, for me, it's balance. I mean, because like you said, as we grow older, it's always going to be something that's going to come that's going to be new and different. And so being able to show them, like, hey, it's moderation. All right, well, hey, this is what we're doing for this reason. Let's talk about why you are so entranced with it. Oh, I get it. This is y'all thing. Cool. My thing might have been this, but I can understand why this certain thing is. And so from them, it's like you said, it's communicating, letting them know, like, hey, even though this is new for you, some things are going to be timeless. There's certain dangers, certain things that it don't matter what new technology it is, certain stuff is going to be the same no matter what. And so just embarking on them like, hey, I need you to watch out for this. Don't get so ingrained with it that you letting it take over with you. So, all right. So as we get more mature, of course, you'll be able to expose yourself for more, but let's be realistic to where you are right now. And so let's set some boundaries. And as you show not even me, but yourself, like what you can handle, what you can't, then, we can kind of move that forward. And so from that standpoint, it's, I try to approach it that way, but I mean, besides my 3 teenagers, then I have an 8-year-old who's looking at them
Yep.
like, oh man, hey, they getting to do this, this, and that.
I'm already knowing.
Right. And so it's
I
also
gotta hear that every day.
right. So it's getting them to be like, all right, now you also see I got y'all a little one where y'all little brother's looking at y'all like, his eyes are just gonna be bug-eyed because he's seeing y'all do all these things. And so it's like, hey, don't forget, yes, we're the parents as well, but when we're not around, it's y'all who he's gonna be looking up to.
Facts.
So, or even when we are there, it's gonna be, hey, those my brother, that's my sister. I wanna do what y'all do. And so if y'all putting yourself out in a certain way, look how that trickle down effect is. And so getting them to kind of be more conscious of that is where I try to focus on. I mean, it's the times, I look at some of those who like, look here, with my daughter, like, girl,
Right.
hey,
Automatic.
who he is? Not,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
man.
You just can see it.
I'd be like,
You
that
see it.
look like Reggie. Reggie 35.
Oh, God. Yeah, at least 30.
At least 30. No,
You have made love to a man? No, sir. You want to?
But the
No, sir.
But to piggyback on what
Talking that mic for me, Phil.
to piggyback off of the like what social media is doing to kids, like it's when I said, internet's not for kids. You remember back in the day, you watch Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. It'll have some stuff on there like, hey, get a parent, get a guardian or a parent to make you get on the internet. You got to have a parent, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Now it's just download this app.
And that's what I'm saying. There used to be parental control.
Stop you from doing
over stuff.
Yeah,
parental control. Now it's too much stuff. Like
free for all.
You can't even control it. The kids gonna get to the internet no matter what.
One way or another.
They can't keep up with it.
They got their iPads that they bring home from school, bro. They be on them. My kids
Look
be
at
locked
this.
in,
What is
bro.
that?
Let me
These grown men playing cartoon people. What is this?
let me ask y'all this.
Facts.
And y'all been giving so much dope content. I'm really just asking questions. I really ain't got to chime in because you just got 3 different perspectives, and I feel like it's holistic for sure. Last episode, me and Phil touched on this a lot, and so this point in question really came off of that episode. But Alice and Chris, I definitely want to ask y'all that, and then Phil chime in. Alice, starting with you first. Mental health. What are ways that y'all prioritize y'all mental health to be the best version of y'all? Because like me and Phil said last episode, if you are not the best version of you,
I like that question, man.
but because
I like that.
right, Phil, ain't that what we talked about? If you
That's
if,
facts.
if
That's
you ain't the
facts.
best version of you, then that's going to affect your fatherhood. So my bad. I know I kind of dragged out, but how do you prioritize your mental health to be the best version of you?
There's several ways. Therapy works for me. I think a big part of that is me learning that I'm not settling for one person. So if I'm talking to you, you on some BS, I'm not just because you a therapist, hey, I'm going to keep rocking with you.
Right.
It got to be the right person. Similar to like, hey, man, I can go to a certain barber shop. They ain't going to know nothing about my plight. I go to another one.
They know exactly.
You
sit down, boom, got me.
Right.
For sure.
So same
For
thing,
sure.
same approaches with therapy where I think at times, just because of us now just really being open to talking about it, getting into it, it's still a lot of times people just used to, like you said, man, it's just the old ways of, hey, here's this one person I got to talk to. But it's like, nah, you don't got to talk to that person.
Nope.
If they ain't working with you, they ain't working
Get
with you.
another one.
But also with that being said is that approach for therapy in general is not going to work for everybody. It's then to just finding, hey, what is it that what's going to be your safe space, your peace, your comfort away from it out to where you can have for yourself. I mean, of course, I can go to my wife and get a certain peace and everything from there too, like you said. But what is it at times that for myself I can do? Like for me, I love shooting pool. So it don't matter how my day going right there, I can go there, shoot horribly, but it's still for me that moment.
Facts.
It's relief.
It's that relief.
Facts.
Yeah, so
He didn't beat me in every pool game I ever played against him. I ain't won nothing.
you might be a little garbage in comparison.
But hop on this beat and I'm going to give it to you.
I'm dead.
Hit it, Phil. Go ahead.
I don't know if that's the right one. I don't know if it's the right one. Yeah, that's one.
I'm dead, bro.
Hit it. Hit something. Hit it.
It ain't hitting nothing.
It's that murder mystery right there.
Who you think you is, DJ Quick? Alice, keep going, man.
No, so I mean, for me, it's different levels. And so
I'm dead.
it's my mental health is also going to be based off of what I feel at that moment I'm weak at. So even though I'm mentally,
I like how you said that.
am I spiritually weak at the moment? What part of me really feel like needs to be refueled, and being able to, put myself aside and be like, all right, this is the area where right now I'm like, hey, I need a moment. And for me, sometimes my kids will tell you, if I don't tell them anything, it's gonna be the truth, like it, hate it, whatever. I'm up front. And so it'll be times I'm like, look, I love y'all.
But
in my mind, I punched y'all 13 times in the throat. I did a quick elbow. It's like I'm like, look, I love y'all. Give me a moment. I hear what you're saying. It's still like, hey, I'm acknowledging everything, but it's like, hey,
I'm human.
Get that a sec. We'll get right back to it.
And you know what's crazy about Alex? I've known Alex since I met Alex in 2014. Literally like 2 weeks before I went on house arrest when him and my sister-in-law was first getting together. We went to Cincinnati, stayed at his spot. And he reminds me kind of like my pops or like my grandfather, like real, like my Uncle Mark, like real laid back.
Yeah, for sure.
Where us three,
I can see that.
oh, bro, you gonna have a problem quicker. But I just be wondering, like, when he go there, bro, I'm gonna hop in the car. I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's so just seeing the way that he parents as a father, situations where every belt I got, shoes, extension cords, because he done dealt with some stuff, but he just been so mild tone. And I just got a lot of respect for this dude because I ain't gonna lie, I've learned a lot. I remember he used to tell me, like, bro, you exhaust way too much energy into stuff that don't matter. Like, I'm not exhausting that much energy wearing myself out. And so I've just your hand clap, man.
I'm still running that.
Hand clap, man. Hand clap for that.
I'm still running that.
Because I feel like black men sometimes, men period, but I feel like black men especially, black and brown, because of what we go through from the type of situations we come from, our patience be thin with a lot of stuff. So
we also put more stuff on ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
All the time.
We already
like
dealing with extra. And then it's just like, then you just get to thinking about just a bunch of stuff, which is just like, you subsequently just putting more weight on your shoulders and you barely holding on as it is without adding on the stuff that you really like, all right, I don't need to deal with that right now. You just feel like you got to deal with everything at once. And I feel like that's not the greatest approach.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Segue,
Cause that exit, cause young, that throw right back onto you. How do you prioritize your mental health so that you can be the best version of you? What does that look like for you? And Alice, I appreciate you answering the way that you did. Cause
very dope insight.
I feel like I got to go back and learn from that.
That was
answer.
very dope insight for sure.
I really, man, I'm by myself a lot. That plays a big role.
Is that good or bad, being isolated?
Great. It's great, bro. I mean, I don't even turn the TV on sometimes, bro. I'll just sit there, gather my thoughts. I'll get off from work and literally go home for an hour, sit on the couch and gather my thoughts, bro. Right before I go to the gym or do what I'm doing, I'm gathering my thoughts, and y'all know I've been golfing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I go out there, bro, and just hear the birds chirp, hear the wind blow. If the sun's out, I'm automatically on 10. You feel me? If the sun's out, my mood's already up there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just, that's good energy already. But it's
For
just,
sure.
And me personally, bro, when I give people compliments, bro, for some reason it motivates me as a person. I feel like my people skills are getting better. So it's just something that I was working on myself. You know what I'm saying? So I just like to give people their flowers while they here. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So how, in you doing that, how do you see that making, you said golf, and you mentioned working out, you mentioned being isolated, you know, collecting your thoughts and, you know, meditating a little bit. So how does all of that make the best version of Chris Villarreal?
Because like I said, when I'm gathering my thoughts, bro, I'm putting everything is on hold. You feel me? Like nothing don't matter right at that moment. Nothing don't matter to me. You know, and that's what a lot of people call it. You know, they call it being selfish sometimes. You feel me? But mental health is more than what you. It's a lot deeper than what you think, bro. Like it goes so far because it controls a lot. It controls everything, your actions, all that. You feel me? So that mental health, bro, like it could take your life. You feel me? Like, so it's that important to where you really got to pay attention to it. I don't care if it's something stupid that you do, but if it like bro said, he likes to play pool. You feel me? And he probably ain't a professional, but when he plays it, it brings peace to him, bro. You feel me? Like when I play golf, bro, like when I first started playing golf, I didn't go to the driving range. I went straight to the golf course and did it right there. I knew that's something I wanted to do, and I really just put my thought process to it. And like, man, I'm having fun with it too. Like, so it's like, bro, it's hard to explain, man, but man, whatever you do to deal with your mental every day, you know what I'm saying, to help you get through it, man, just you have to pay attention to it.
Phil,
You know, it's important.
Villarreal, I appreciate that. That was solid.
Sure.
Phil, how do you prioritize your mental health, and how does that make you the best version of you?
Mine is it's literally day by day. Like or honestly, it could be not even day by day. It could be hour here, 2-3 hours later. Like I try to do the sit in silence thing, and sometimes it's too loud. Sometimes, and I don't know really how to like deal with it or turn it down or turn it off. So what I've been doing lately, I got a little notebook, and I just write like whatever I'm feeling that I want to say that's just going in my head. I just write it down until I'm done. Until I feel like, all right, I got that off my chest. Boom, close it, put it up until I use it again. Date it, go back and look at it. How was I feeling this day? If I don't, and it's not even an everyday thing. I might not write it in every day. It might one day I dated, like I wrote it in it June 1st. I wrote in it for the second time today, and that just all right. I had these many days of I ain't really feel like I had to like I was gonna just like it was too loud.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got through them days.
Yeah, I got through them days. Yes, it might have been loud, but I got through it.
So how is that making you the best version of you?
Because I'm not like that's me taking it out on something
Instead of on
So
people that
it's
you love, maybe.
therapeutic? Is that what you're saying?
I was very, very, and just like going like now, thank God it's a little better. It's raining right now, but now I go outside with no shoes on and stand in the grass and you just feel the earth.
Yeah, just get grounded.
Yes,
You gotta go outside. Like I don't even have the time Markel be running outside. I don't make him put shoes on. Like, go out here, get in this grass, like feel like get in tune with this. Like some people, a lot of people don't like. That's just it really do something. Once you try to center yourself and you just become like you try to become one with yourself, like it helps. But I try it, and sometimes I can stay there, sometimes I can't. It's just still something I'm still dealing with. But I do try to make. I might have a bad mental health day. I try my best not to let it like overcome my entire day. Like there's no way this whole entire day could be bad.
Right. Yeah.
You know
Hey,
I mean?
that's crazy. That's what I be fighting with sometimes too.
It's-
That's the part.
Hey, it's crazy, man. Shout out John Humphreys, man. He uplifted me one day, man. He got in a car wreck, bro. He literally just got in a car wreck, totaled his car last week, and he said he had the best day, bro, like ever. He got great news that day. That same day he just totaled his car. He got great news that he's been waiting for a long time. And I just never seen nobody still uplifted that much, bro, and totaled their car on the highway, bro.
And
it's just motivating.
Well, brother-in-law wanted to chime in real quick, but I just say this, God was bad, God to turn into good. You know what I'm saying? For sure. What was you about to chime in?
No, I'm just saying that's the growth. Like every day we're steadily learning ourselves, and with that we're able to take those experiences of what we learned, what we gone through. Even like you said, just knowing where one day, like, look, I might not fully be there, but I know myself enough to where, hey, if I do this, this at least it'll reset that clock, for a little bit. For sure. So, and even through all our experiences, it's kind of like, if you ever fly somewhere, how they're always talking about, hey, the case of emergency, you gotta drop that bag down,
breathe,
and breathe. But but you notice it's always you got to do yourself first. It's like if you don't take care of yourself first, I can't take care of everybody else. Right? So it's that same thing for us. Is where, hey man, we got to take care of ourselves. If not, you know, like you said, it don't
We're
matter.
not worth nothing, bro.
No.
We're not worth nothing.
And also too, man, I think finding things like I throw this in before I ask y'all the last question. I think finding whatever it is. You talked about playing pool, and I'm sure there's other things that you do as well. Young, you brought up, you know, gym, golf. Phil, you brought up, you know, meditating, being one with the earth, writing in the notebook. I know you listen to a ton of music. We can call him DJ Phreeza because he always listening to music.
Oh,
but
man,
I think as well, like for myself, doing this podcast. You know, I've been humble with the podcast, but I was telling brother-in-law before this, like, I'm not even looking at this in a monetizing way. This is it's just dope to give stuff back
energy.
to the people. Now, best believe, I believe that this month, the energy in this room right now, you had a cast like this, Joe Budden, who? Tiger, who? Boy, earn your leisure, who? $1 million worth of who? You know what I'm saying? But I think, no, shout out to all of that. Shout out to anybody doing the podcast. It's not easy. But I feel like those different mediums, now that music is my full-time job, when I work, music used to be the escape. But now that that's my job, now it's people get on my nerves in that. So, like, that's why I don't sell beats no more, because making beats is like a video game. I could run it up, but I'm like, I got to keep some kind of aspect fun. Everything can't always be about sending out an invoice. So I enjoy this, right? The purity of this doing podcasts because, like, it's just me staying consistent. But that's about to have to change because we about to turn up.
Yeah.
For the turn up one time. Got to ask y'all gentlemen before we get out of here. We got to end on some light stuff.
For sure.
Starting with you, brother-in-law. The joy of being a father, man. What is that for you, man?
Man, it's really just being able to influence another life to far exceed anything you could have imagined. And then as that journey progresses, you'll see them take their bumps, they get up, but just kind of just see how that trajectory takes.
Yeah.
And knowing that you played a part is in that, which we all strive for it to be that positive, but just to see them accomplish those things.
Answer right there, bro. Like, straight up.
And that's Phil. Joy of being a father.
It sounds crazy, but it's still kind of surreal to me sometimes. Like, I just look like, dang, it's really little Phil right here.
Yeah, man.
Like, these really little Phil right here. Like, I made, like, it's still, I don't know, like, he about to be fine. They fine. Like, no, like, it's still a part of me that's just like, man, like, I just sit there and look at him and he just look at me. And I know he probably like, bro, what you looking at? And I'm just like, bro, like, you real. Like, you real. You really something I made. You know what I mean?
Facts,
so, like,
facts.
just, and, like, the smile and, just to know that, they are breathing and doing well. That's the biggest thing for me, I think. Man, for sure.
That's dope.
Young one.
Man, just,
Joy of being a father, man. What does that look like? I mean, to you?
Man, it means the most. It means everything. But the relationship I have with my kids is one of the most important things ever. And I got 3 kids with relationships. My relationships with all 3 of them are different. And it's just we all click the one way. Like when one kid comes in, dad, they want to talk or whatever, I'm locked in with them. I don't hear nothing else. Locked in with them. Go to my next kid. Bam, locked in with them. It's just like that, bro. We not dipping into each other businesses and all this other stuff. I want my kids to be able to come at me with whatever they want to talk about. So it's just, I love it, man. I love being a parent.
I think for myself, it's kind of one what Phil said, like my daughter be 7 in October. I'm like, bro, I really helped make a human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really had
Time goes way too fast.
I think for myself, it challenging me to, like, what kind of legacy I'm gonna leave. My pops died at 39. I'm 33. I'm 6 years away from that. I'm like, dog.
Yeah.
I pray I live to be 1 million. But if it at 39, like, what I know how much reverence and love I got for my pops. So I think she doesn't know it, but her pushing me. I think the joy, even though I might be gone a lot, the joy of, like, yo, I'm trying to go hard for you. open them doors and set new generational trends and break generational curses. So I think the joy of that is I've always enjoyed, since we've been teenagers especially, thinking about my legacy. If I die right now at 33, what's the legacy? If this podcast episode was the last thing I'm seen and heard on, what's the legacy? So I think just being able to like have her influence that and check my character and challenge me and show me how much more growth I got. I think the joy of the journey of it. I think that for me, there's joy in the journey of it challenging me. Cause y'all know I'm bullheaded like a mug. You know what I'm saying? I got a cement head. I got a rock head. I can be bullheaded. So I think the older she gets and the more we rock with each other, I find myself getting softer, man. Yo, Phil, hit the hand clap button for all the people out there, all the fathers out here, man. That's crazy, yo. We got about an hour's worth of content. We said close to 30. We done double this thing. We ain't chopping it in two. We dropping this whole thing, bro.
I told you my hour. I told him.
I figured that, bro. I just say close to 30 because, you know, we'd be 2 hours. Hey, clap. So, man, this is the KYREN Monteiro Show, Season 2, Episode number 3. This is the No Manual, All On Site Part 2, man.
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, man. And listen,
for sure.
And I don't say this on a judgmental thing. These men are on this platform right now because I know 2,000,000% that they are great fathers and in their kids' life. If you're not in your kids' life, they didn't ask to be here, no matter the circumstance. It's your responsibility. If you could play video games all day, if you could do everything else, you could be man enough and take care of your responsibilities. We got a lot of flaws in life. We got a lot of things to work on. Being a deadbeat can't be one of them struggles, man. Hand clap to the real dads out there, boy.
You dig it. You dig it. We here.
Check out the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, all of that stuff. Salute to everybody else doing on the podcast. Salute to everybody doing anything, man. All right, man. Y'all stay blessed.